Hi, my name is Greg Medore and I'm with the Oily Crafter. Today our topic will be updating the firmware on the AnyTone 878UVIIPlus radio. I'm Dr. Greg Medore and my call sign is Alpha India 5 Hotel Victor. So the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we know exactly, is this an AnyTone 878UVIIPlus or is it a UV2 or what? So the best way I can show you to do that is take your radio. I'm going to flip it over here and you see that little button right there. You're going to push that button, push and slide up just a little bit, and then we come right in here and you see right there where it says AnyTone and it says model number ATD878UV2Plus. So we know for sure that we have the proper radio. So with that, we're going to put that battery back in place. We're going to put it back in our holder here. And then we are going to connect up the cable. And we're going to power it on. All right. So the next thing that we're going to want to do is we're actually going to want to make a backup copy of the code plug that is in that radio. Right? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come down here and I'm going to show you that the newer version of the CPS software is 3.04. Where did I get that software? I came to bridgecomsystems.com and I clicked on support. So if we come up here and I show this to you, we're at bridgecomsystems.com right here. I click on support. Okay, I'm going to scroll down. Product support, AnyTone 878UV2Plus CPS firmware downloads. Click there and I downloaded this version right here. It says current version. It's CPS version 3.04 and I downloaded that and then I installed it on the computer. Okay, that's what we have installed right here. So what we want to do is we want to make sure we have a current version of the CPS software. I need to come in and under the set COM, make sure I'm setting at COM4. That is the communications port that the computer assigned to this radio when I plugged it in and turned it on. I'm going to hit OK. And notice this is 304. Okay. Now before I do this, I want to show you the settings. I'm going to come down here to settings right here. And we're going to come down to device info. And you're going to see my radio ID, my name, call sign, etc. See, it says firmware version 3.01. Just going to scroll down through this. Okay. Now, the reason I did that was because I want to show you. If I use version 3.04 to try and download the software, or download the code plug from the radio, and I hit read from radio right here. Read from radio, do you wish to continue? And I hit OK, and I hit OK. Now mind you, my radio showed 3.01, and this is 3.04. Tells you the version is wrong. Okay, well that's not a good thing. So the only way we can take care of this now is we have to turn the radio back off again, and then turn the radio back on. Let the radio power back up. Now notice I said we were on version 3.01. Well, guess what? I have version 3.01 and I have that installed here on this this same computer. I've got that installed. So I'm going to come over here to 3.01. So on COM4, hit OK, program, read from radio. Hit OK, we're going to say other data, and we're going to click on OK. And we're going to save two style of backups here, and I'll explain here in just 1 minute. Okay, it's completed. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a file, and we're going to do a save as. And right here under this, in this folder, I'm going to create a new folder. And I'm going to call it 878 UVIIPlus. Okay, and in here we're going to put AnyTone, good heavens, AnyTone 878UVIIPlus, and I'm going to put my call sign in here. I'm also going to put version 3.01, and I'm going to list today's date, which is November the 14th. And I'm going to label that as A. Or I could label it as before firmware update. We'll leave it at that, and then let's put the date here at the end. Okay, right there, and we're going to save this as an RDT file. Now the other thing we're going to do is we are going to do a tool export, and we're going to export all. And right here we're going to say let's do 878, and I'm going to put my call sign right here. And I'm going to actually create a new folder. And the reason why we're doing both of these is so that way, if there is an issue with being able to get those settings imported into 3.04, then for some reason I've got both RDT file and I've got all the individual channel files. So let's come down here, and we are going to let's see here, come to right here, and we're going to say radio configs, and we're going to say see if I can find it here. Here we go. This one right here. So here's my RDT file, and here are all my CSV files and the list file. Okay, so now at this point we are ready to start the firmware process. Now in the instructions it specifically says please always turn off GPS and APRS. So we're going to come in here, we're going to come down here to menu, GPS, we're going to hit off, and we're going to come down here to APRS, upload type, GPS is not turned on. So at this point, let's turn that on again, and we'll come down here to APRS. We'll set that to done. And I'm pretty sure that just turning GPS off will take care of that, but we're just going to be safe, and we're going to make sure, again, GPS is off, and APRS was off as well. So now what it says is we need to do the push to talk button and the PF3 button. And we're going to have this turned off. Now in case you're wondering, it shows you there on the screen the PF3 button is over here and the push to talk is over here. So we're going to turn this off. We're going to press and hold those two buttons there. You can see that. I've got those, I'm holding those down. I'm going to turn them both on. Now notice my little red light is blinking. And notice right here in the instructions, and in case you're wondering where those instructions came from, those instructions came from right in here, firmware update instructions. This is in the folder structure for the CPS software, for the zip file that we downloaded from Bridgecom. Okay? All right, so let's just follow along here in the instructions. Bridgecom Systems did a really good job of taking care of that. So in the CPS software, tool firmware icon update, you want to choose open update file. So in this case, I'm going to want to use version 304. I'm not going to want to use 301, because if I use 301 to try and update 304, it's not going to work. So it says come up here to tool, go to firmware and icon update right here. We're going to open the update file. Okay, so we're going to come to Bridgecom Systems, my folder here. We're going to come into AnyTone CPS. We're going to go to AnyTone D878UVIIPlus, and we're coming in here to version 3.04, and then we've got to come in here to firmware. This is the, notice it's version 3.04, and it has the SPI file extension on it, which is what is needed. File open is successful. Again, COM4, we saw the COM4 earlier when we connected the radio, so we're good there. So we are going to go ahead and we're going to select write, and we're going to say write to the radio. And I'm letting this run so you can see about how long this is going to take. This is actual speed. I'm not speeding up the camera or the playback or whatever. You're seeing this in real time. Okay. So sorry this has taken this long, but it is what it is. It takes a certain amount of time, and I have no control over that. So write is complete. That's always a good sign. Okay. Now notice right here in the instructions over here, it says, and I can hit exit right there. Notice it says right here, make sure the code plug is saved to a PC before you complete the reset. So, in the event that the other instructions are incorrect, what I'm going to, as far as backing up the code plug, I'm going to do setcom, it's on 4. We're going to come into program and we're going to say read from radio, and I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to say other data. Notice that didn't take any time at all, and it populated. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another file save here, and I'm going to go back to the code plug folder, radio configs, and we said 878UVIIPlus, and right here we're going to say, right here, we're going to say after firmware update, and this is now in 304 format. So that is saved. All right, so let's move on to the next process here. Okay, so this says after updating the firmware, you need to reset the radio, the main control unit, as follows. Power off the radio first. Okay. While holding down on the PTT button, press the PF1 button. Okay. Well, if you're wondering where the PF1 button is, the PF1 button is right here on the side. It's that top one, not the bottom one, the top one and the PTT button. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to push those two in, and we're going to turn on the radio. That did not do what I wanted it to do there. PF1 is the top key. So let's try this again. There. You sure you want to initialize the radio? Must not have had the button punched in far enough. Right here, I'm going to say confirm, just like it has here on the screen. And I'm going to say initialize the radio. Okay, now it says P1, we're going to we use P1 there and we're using the up and down arrow key here, and we're our UTC -6 where I'm located. Going to hit P1, and then today's date is the 14th. And some people say skip this step, but I usually go ahead and do this step just to make sure. 4. And the time right now is 1400. Yeah, close enough. Welcome, AnyTone. Okay, as you can see, it's all set, and you can see the information here. Now I have to reload my code plug. Well, guess what? I've got my code plug, and it's still, this is the one that I read from the radio a while ago. So I'm going to do a set COM. It's on COM 4 program, and I'm going to say write to radio. Write is completed. And again, I'm showing this all to you in real time so that you know about how long, you can estimate about how long this is going to take. All right. So one of the things I am going to want to do, I'm going to come back into menu, and I'm going to check my settings. Sorry. Go into GPS, and GPS was still off, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that back on. And I'm going to come down here to APRS and turn that back to, in this case, the channel I'm on is analog. So that should put everything back exactly the way it was on the MCU. And now on the radio, after the MCU reboot there. So what I'm going to come down to is I'm going to come down here to settings, and I'm going to go to device info. And we're going to make sure, notice it says, now it says firmware version 3.04, where before it said, here, let me pull up the what it was before. Here's your settings, what it was before. Let's zoom in just a little bit, make that just a little bit bigger. Make it a little bit bigger. Notice we were at 3.01 before, now we're at 3.04. And the last update there is 6/18/2024, so day, month, year. And before it was 23rd of September 2022. Pick version, guess what? I still need to do that update. A language version, dealer code, the SCT, which is the baseband here. This didn't change. It's SCT 3258 version 2.01.07BA. And Bluetooth software ET112 or 12, sorry, underscore AQQX underscore V136. And the APRS board is version 1.06. Now there is some other, let me see here. There is okay, that's that release one. And here's this one. This is the icon update. All right, so what we're going to do is we will go back. And it says we need to turn this off. And we are going to, this says PTT and PFT, PF2. So PF2 is this bottom one right there. And you got the top one there, the push to talk. So we're going to press and hold those, and we're going to turn the radio on. Now we're in update mode. So we can come back to the CPS software. We can come to Tool, and we can do firmware and icon update. So in this case, we're going to do update file. We're not doing radio configs. We are going to come in and, let's see, Bridgecom, CPS, AnyTone 878, this one, and then we're going to do icon, and we're going to click on that SPI file right there. File open succeeded, update, and we are going to say write to radio. And you can see the little green light up here on the top is flashing. Again, we're just waiting for that to finish writing here. And there is a question here about updating the Bluetooth, and we'll cover that here in just a minute as soon as this has finished completing here. Okay. Notice it says write complete. Now in order to get this in the instructions over there, it specifically says that we need to, right here, once it's updated, reboot the radio. So we're going to power this off. And then we're going to power this back on again. And I'm going to go ahead and exit here. See if I could find that AnyTone File Explorer. Nope. Not that one. So in here, there's an update in here about the Bluetooth and about updating that. Let me see if I can. Yeah, here we go. Bluetooth update. So notice this talks about whether or not you need to update the Bluetooth APRS board or not. Notice there, right here it says, due to chip shortage, some new radios since 2023-5-1 use the 2.0 firmware to match the new chip used in the new Bluetooth and APRS board. So you got version 2.00M equals 1.06. This is for the old Bluetooth and APRS boards. Version 2.00H, this is for the new board. So what I want to show you is, by the way, this radio is older. It's older than that date that I purchased, but what I do want to show you here is we're going to go into settings. We're going to come down here to device info. We're going to scroll down, and you notice that the APRS board version is version 1.06. All right, so in order to update the Bluetooth APRS up to the later version, we're going to follow the instructions that we have listed here. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to hold the top key and the bottom key here, so PF3 and PF2 right here, we're going to hold those in, and then we're going to turn on the radio. Update mode for link board. All right, so now we're going to come in here to the CPS software. And what we're going to do is we're going to come into Tool, Firmware Icon Update. We're going to update that. Okay, we are in the 878UVIIPlus 304 official release, APRS Bluetooth, and version 2.0M. This is for the older. We come back over here. This is for the old Bluetooth and APRS board. We're going to pick this SPI file right here, and we're going to press open. Okay, now we've got COM4, and we've got duplex, and we've got the COM speed. So we're going to say write. Write to radio. Write is complete. So now we can click on exit, and then what we need to do is we need to turn the radio off. I'm going to unhook the programming cable. We're going to turn this back on, radio back on. Okay. So here is the updated information on the APRS Bluetooth device info. Scroll all the way to the bottom, and I went ahead and updated it to APRS board version 2.0 instead of saying 1.6. So I'm going to standardize all of my AnyTone D878UVIIPlus radios so that I can have them all on the exact same version. So with that, I'd like to say thank you for watching our channel today. I hope you liked the content that we're publishing on YouTube. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave those below the video. They're on YouTube. And want to thank you so much for watching today. We hope you like the channel and would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe to our channel. With that, I'll say thank you for watching. Hope you have a blessed day. This is Dr. Greg, Alpha India 5, Hotel Victor, and we at the Oily Crafter, thank you for watching. Have a blessed day.